first thing I'm going to say is that the first part of the presentation that we're going to do is on anti-aging. And, you know, what I try and ask people is that, you know, have you ever thought that you know, when you're looking at aging, when you're looking at the whole thing about aging, why is it that you get to be, you know, when you have a baby, right? You know, he's 3 months old. He's 3.5 months old, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, they're 5 years old. They're, you know, and they made it to 21, right? And then all of a sudden they're 30, and oh man, made it to 50, right? But when you get to be, you know, 70, 80, all of a sudden you start to feel like, oh, I'm supposed to feel old, right? Did anybody ever notice that? That people tend to do that. My mom and dad, my dad just turned 80 in December. And the doctors up in the United States where I'm from, they just said, well, you're 80, you need to take this prescription. And my dad says, well, but I don't have anything wrong. And they told him, they said, but you're 80 years old. You need to take that. What do you think of that? Is that good?
They should take tests.
Absolutely not. They need to look at people from a viewpoint of what's wrong with them and individualize it, but they don't tend to do it. So aging, is it inevitable? Well, we are going to get older, and we are going to live longer than our parents did, and chances are we'll live longer than our grandparents. But the thing about it is that as we look at this, and hopefully I can get this across to you, is that there's some practical solutions that we can do that we maybe can slow down the whole idea of you don't have to feel old anymore, right? Like the new 40 is 60. Right? When you get to be 60, that's the new 40. That's what we want to do. We want to get people so that they look and feel and act like they're still young when they're old. So what I did next is I brought a video that I found, and I really thought this kind of gives people an idea. So we'll watch this.
What will your last 10 years look like? Will you be quick enough for a game of tag with your grandchild? Strong enough to embrace every moment? Will you grow old with vitality? Or get old with disease? It's time to decide. The average Canadian will spend their last 10 years in sickness. Change your future at makehealthlast.ca.
Right? Do you want to be the guy that's playing with his grandchildren, enjoying life with his family, or the guy that's in the nursing home, right? And all of you are fairly healthy. I'm sure that we all have something wrong with us, but now's the time that you want to address it. You don't want to wait until something's wrong and then have to go after it. Next slide, Katie. So when you look at anti-aging, and we talk about anti-aging, there's animals like jellyfish. When I was out fishing with Trevor the other day, we saw jellyfish. Jellyfish are like almost immortal. They never change from when they're a baby jellyfish to when they're an old jellyfish. Biologically, they're the same. The bowhead whale, they just seem to live forever, centuries. And you can't tell the difference. You take a look at turtles. They say that Charles Darwin's pet tortoise is still alive. Right? How many years ago was Charles Darwin around? How many hundreds of years ago? Right? And his pet tortoise is still alive. Lobsters, they have more sex the older they get. Wouldn't that be cool? You get to be 90, you have more sex than you did when you were 20? That'd be kind of fun. You wouldn't remember it, but. But bacteria are an interesting creature, right? If you take a look at a bacteria that is formed today, and you compare it to the bacteria when it's 14 days old or 20 days old, biologically under a microscope, they look identical. They haven't changed.